What's the story, Morning Glory? What is the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of 90 Day Fiancé Before the 90 Days, Season 6, Episode 16, One Crazy Summer. So this is the season finale. Next week we have the reunion, and soon we will be through with these crazy people, except for David and Sheila, who I can't get enough of. Let's talk about Riley and Violet. Okay. Y'all, anyways, so Riley, he's back in the US. He says that after he got back to America, he got a text from Violet telling him that the relationship was over, that she was done with him. Then she sends him another text. I don't know the time frame, so I don't know how long after the first text that she sent the second text apologizing to him, and I don't know what she was talking about. So he doesn't know if they're together or if they're not together. He doesn't know where he stands with Violet. Then he gets a text from her, or they talked or something, I don't know, where she told him that she was pregnant. So the night before he left for America, Violet had come to see him at his hotel. And so that's when they ended up having sex. So the funny thing is, this is how I know that Violet is a scammer, because she made it seem like when he first arrived in Vietnam, I remember her saying that she was not going to spend the night with him in his hotel room at all, because that's not what they do in Vietnam. That's not what they do in their culture, spending the night in men's hotel rooms. So she made it seem like she was really against that. It was against her belief to spend the night with him. So right before he leaves for America, I don't know if she was feeling unsure about the relationship. I don't know if this was the foundation of her scam, either to get a green card or to get money from Riley. But the night before he's supposed to leave Vietnam to come back to America, she skedaddles to the hotel. She lays it on him, leaves, because what we saw her coming to his hotel the morning that he left, because she was coming there to help him pack. Why didn't she just stay the night? Because she didn't want it to look like she has spent the night there. So she comes over in the dead of night, during whole hours. She comes over in the middle of the night, does whatever she does with him, leaves, and then comes back the next morning to help him pack, as if she hadn't been there all night long, slinging and banging. So he admits to his friend that, yes, we did have sex, but I never thought that it was going to result in a pregnancy, because Riley says that he's on a certain type of medication where his sperm count is extremely low and he has less than a 1% chance of getting a woman pregnant. So he said that right now he doesn't know exactly what the hell is going on, but he'd rather err on the side of caution and be supportive from the beginning, instead of, turning his back on her and what could possibly be his child. So he said that he told Violet that he found an international doctor in Vietnam that she can go for all of her appointments. And I guess the doctor speaks English, and so the doctor will be able to keep Riley up to date with Violet's so-called pregnancy. And he had told Violet, if you go to this particular doctor, because, he can't be there physically, so he wants to still be a part of this whole process of doctor's appointments, etc., by having her go to a doctor that's going to be keeping communications with him. And he had offered Violet that, I will pay for everything, all your medical bills, I'll pay for them, provided that you go to this doctor that I want you to go to. Violet declined. She says she has her own doctor, so she's going to go see her own doctor. Okay, so right there, red flag, seems really suspicious of why she wouldn't take him up on this offer. So then the friend is asking him, so like, what are you going to do now? And he's like, well, what can I do? The only thing that I can do is just to sit back and wait for a DNA test and see if the child is mine. And he says in his confessional, he's not sure if Violet was seeing other people. I want to know. I'm pretty sure that I have a feeling that Violet was seeing other men, either She was seeing other men. To me, Violet just seems, I don't know, she just reeks of scam to me. And she's like such a scam artist. She just seems so fraudulent. I'm pretty sure that she was seeing other men. And I want to know, how many other men did she tell that she was carrying their child and that she was pregnant with their child? Now, if Violet says that she's pregnant, if she told Riley that she was pregnant, did she show him proof of the pregnancy? Because if she's telling him, I'm pregnant, I'm thinking, okay, you took a pregnancy test either at home or at the doctor's office. Did you send him the proof of this pregnancy? To me, Violet just reeks of scam. Total scam. And I'm glad that Riley is being super cautious with her in this whole pregnancy thing, but he is walking a very tight line as far as, you want to be supportive in case this might be your child, but you don't want to be bamboozled in case it's not your child, in case she's not even pregnant at all. Moving on to Statler and Dempsey. So Statler asks Dempsey if she's absolutely done with their relationship, and Dempsey says, well, that's on you, because they had that argument about whether or not they're going to have children in the future. So Statler has said that she cannot be with somebody who really wants to have a child, and Dempsey was like, I want to have a child and it's going to happen one way or the other. So Statler made it seem like it was a deal breaker for her to stay with a woman that would want to eventually have children. So Statler asks her, so are you really done with us? And Dempsey's like, that's up to you, because you're the one that says that you can't be with somebody that wants to have a child. I think that they both knew early on, because they talk about how, Statler was like, yeah, in the beginning, I wasn't really sure. I was still open to the idea of having children, and I might still want them in the future, but I know that I don't want them right now. Dempsey was like, yeah, in the beginning, I really want to have children, but it wasn't like anything was written in stone. They talk about, in the beginning, we were really unsure. I think in the beginning, they both knew what they wanted. Statler knows. I think Statler has always known that she really doesn't want to have children. And I think Dempsey has always known that she would eventually want to have children. But they didn't want to tell the other how they felt about this whole baby thing, because they didn't want to scare the other person off. So they kept it really vague, really gray, really fuzzy to hold on to the other person, because if Dempsey came out and said, look, I'm going to have a child one way or the other, come hell or high water, I am going to have a baby, that would scare Statler off, and vice versa for Statler. So they both knew what they wanted in the beginning. And I don't think either one of them is going to change. But Dempsey says that she is willing to take the risk to stay with Statler, knowing that there's a really big probability that Statler will not want to have children in the future, which I think it's not a good idea for her to do that, because what she needs, if she really is serious about staying with Statler and making it work, with her knowing that Statler may never change her mind about having kids, then in the future, when she's ready to talk about it again, and when she wants to have a baby and Statler tells her, no, I still kind of feel the same way, I don't want to have any children, then Dempsey, you need to just accept that and not have any damn kids. Otherwise, skedaddle, leave the relationship and go find somebody who would want to have children with you. Because I think that Dempsey thinks that she's going to win Statler over, that Statler is going to be so in love with her and willing to make her happy and do whatever to make her happy, that she will eventually change her mind and want to have kids. I don't think so. I think Statler is the kind of person, and somebody in my comments has said this in my last review, that Statler doesn't want to compete with the baby. She wants to be the one and only in Dempsey's life. She doesn't want to share Dempsey with a child. So I don't think Statler is going to change. I don't see Statler changing her stance on children. So Dempsey, you just better be ready to stay with Statler and have no kids, or leave Statler and have a chance of having children, because I don't think Statler is going to change her mind. But anyways, apart from that, as far as them living together, at first Dempsey was hell-bent on, no, we can't move in together, we're moving too fast, etc., etc. Her friends, her father, everybody was telling Dempsey, y'all are moving way too fast, y'all need to slow the hell down. And Dempsey seemed like she was listening to the voices of reason. But I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know what Statler been doing in the bedroom to make Dempsey change all of her convictions, because now Dempsey's like, yeah, I'm looking forward to you moving in with me. What? So Dempsey says that she is okay with them moving in together. So in fact, Statler is going to go home, finish up some stuff, wait for her lease to run out, and then she's going to be right back to England, moving in with Dempsey in that little caravan. And Statler says that she's going to be giving up Wi-Fi, she's going to be giving up cell phone service, or good cell phone service, and hot showers to live with Dempsey in this caravan in the middle of nowhere. So all I can say is this must be love. Okay, Statler must really be in love to give up the comforts of life so that she can live with Dempsey. Moving on to Misha and Nicola. No, 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 no. Moving on to Christian and Cleo. I want to talk about Christian and Cleo. So not much going on with Christian and Cleo other than Christian was getting ready to head back. Oh, by the way, Statler came back to the U.S. Her trip was over. Moving on to Cleo and Christian. So Christian is on his way back to the United States. As he's getting ready, Cleo is crying the whole entire time. Sorry, y'all. Cleo is crying the whole entire time because her band is leaving, and she's really, really sad about that. She doesn't know when she's going to see him again. As far as Cleo is concerned, this whole thing about Christian meeting other women in bars or wherever the hell he's at, he has to strike up conversations with other women. That is still kind of like up in the air because Christian isn't. He says he's not going to stop doing that because he doesn't see that he's doing anything wrong. So Cleo kind of wants some type of closure on that, and Christian is not willing to give her any closure. Christian is like, hey, let's just move forward. It is what it is. It's a bump in the road in our relationship, but let's just move forward. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't feel good about Cleo and Christian at all. I think that Cleo should move on. I think that Christian is going to make her look like a fool. If they come back again for another season, if we do see them again, I think that Christian is going to make her look like a damn fool because he's already showing signs of that. Like he is just itching to embarrass her. It's just bizarre. This relationship is very bizarre to me. It doesn't make any sense. He's standing 10 toes down on, I have the right to talk to strange women in bars. That's my constitutional right, my God-given right. And I'm not giving that up for nobody. And I'm not doing anything wrong. And of course, anybody would think that if some man is approaching you in a bar and they strike up a conversation with you, that they're hitting on you, that they're attracted to you, they want to be with you. So Cleo, this is your opportunity to save, to say, what is it? To like save some of your pride. Walk away. Christian ain't nothing but bad. I don't see Christian wanting to marry her, working really hard to get her to America. I don't see that happening with Christian. So Cleo, this is your chance right now to leave with dignity. Moving on to Misha and Nicola. So they're walking down the street and Nicola gets down on Nicola gets down on one knee and he proposes to Misha and she says yes. So Nicola is really proud of himself for proposing in public because he thinks that he is stepping up his romance game because Misha had got on him for not being romantic enough. So for him to get down on one knee, the middle of this I don't know, street, avenue, whatever it was, and to propose to her in front of all these people, he thinks that he's doing a really good job. And he tells Misha, how many people do you know that are willing to propose in public? And I don't know if y'all caught this, but Misha said actually a lot. So after that, they go immediately to the jewelry store because he's going to buy her a ring right away. The reason why he didn't have a ring already when he proposed was because he wanted to make sure that it was a ring that she liked, which is kind of funny because when they went to the jewelry store, he picked the ring that he liked because he picked the ring that he could afford. So he should have just bought the ring beforehand and made it a proper proposal. So at the jewelry store, I think he ended up picking the ring and she was like, yeah, that's nice. I think in the back of Misha's mind, she's already planning for her upgrade. But she was like, yeah, that's nice. I'll take that. No big deal. And it was $2,500. No, it was how much was it? It was $2,000 US. And Nicola bargained the jewelry shop owner all the way down to $1,500. Okay, fine. But before they get married, they have to go through with the annulment. Misha has to go through with her annulment. So she has to do this annulment thing. And if the Catholic Church approves it, then her and Nicola can get married. And that's when she'll start the K-1 visa process after the annulment is approved by the Catholic Church. Until then, she can't even begin the process. Now, my overall opinion of Nicola and Misha, I don't think this is a good match. I don't think this is a good match at all. Misha, to me, I don't know what she sees in Nicola, and this is not taking anything away from Nicola. The way that I see her, the type of woman that she is, yes, she is walking in her faith and she is a Christian and she has her beliefs and she follows her beliefs, but it's just not that fanatical like it is with Nicola. I don't know if they're equally yoked. I don't really know that she's as strict of a Christian as he is, because she has suggested to him, why don't you come to the United States while we're waiting for the annulment to be approved? Why don't you come to the United States and stay with me, and come on a tourist visa and stay with me for 3 months? And he was like, no, Misha, we can't do that, Misha, that's against everything that I believe in, for us to live together in one home without being married. The devil is going to tempt us, and I hate the devil because the devil hates us. So no, I'm not going to do that. And Misha's like, what's the problem? Just come stay with me. So I don't know if they're really equally yoked. So I don't know. Misha to me looks like a woman who would be with like a televangelist, like a Joel Osteen kind, like a minister or preacher or a pastor of a mega church, who's already living that lifestyle. I don't know what she sees in Nicola. Like, I really don't understand, but she sees something in him enough that she is willing to marry him and go through all of this with him and for him. So I don't know. I just don't think that religiously they match as much as they think they do. Moving on to Amanda and Razvan. These people are so frustrating to me. Okay, so Razvan, he's such a Razvan, okay, anyways, so Razvan tells us his heart is telling him to stay with Amanda, but his head is telling him that this relationship is toxic, because Amanda wants to know once and for all, are you with me or are you not with me? And because they had that rocky start in the beginning when Amanda first arrived in Romania, and she was very cold and very distant, she wasn't very loving or caring towards him, it kind of turned him off. And what was even worse was when she began to compare him to her deceased husband by making him feel like, you will never be as good as my husband because he was a provider and he was a go-getter, and you just want to fiddle around on Instagram and TikTok. That's how you want to spend your time. My husband was out there doing real work, bringing in real money, and you just want to be an influencer. So that made him feel some kind of way. And then after all of that, I don't know, something changed in Amanda. I have no idea what it was, because at first she was distant. She didn't really respect what he did as far as how he made his living, and she didn't like the fact that he wanted children. She had those 3 major things that made her kind of like stand back. And then all of a sudden, I don't know if it was because he wasn't begging her to be with, I don't know what it was about Amanda, but she just flipped. Now she acts like she can't live without him. She wants them to be back together. She wants them to be, in this for the long haul. And at first, Razvan's going to pretend like, oh, I don't know. I knew he was going to say yes to her. I knew he was going to say yes to her because he wants to come to America. Yes, he's going to say yes to Amanda. So he told her, he gave her his final answer and said, yes, I want us to try again. And, so then she says to him, well, the best time for you to come and visit on a tourist visa, because he's already put in the application. I think he was approved for his tourist visa. So she tells him, you should come and see us in Thanksgiving, where you can meet my children, meet the whole family, etc. Now, my final thoughts on Amanda and Razvan. I think the finances is probably going to come in between them. I don't think Amanda on her own makes a whole lot of money, and I don't think that Razvan can really support an entire family on his social media, because I don't know, maybe he can, but I don't really see him as one of those big time social media influencers that's making 6 figures a year with all of the brand deals and all of that. He's easy on the eyes. I don't know. I wouldn't put my stock in someone who is depending on social media to put him through, to support himself, because he's going to have 2 kids and a wife, or 2 kids and a girlfriend to support. And I don't know if TikTok is going to sustain all of that. So Amanda, if you want a provider, go get your provider. I don't see Razvan really being that provider right now. Moving on to Gino and Jasmine. Y'all, I'm not going to waste any time on Gino and Jasmine, because we all know that eventually her visa was approved and she ended up coming to America. So I'm not here with the trumped up drama of something about some vague explanation about her something. What do they say exactly? There was an issue processing her paperwork, and she doesn't even want to say what it is. I'm not going to, it's all trumped up drama. It's all fake drama. Her stuff was approved. She came to America. So I'm going to end it right here. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video if you like this content, subscribe to my channel, and I will definitely talk to you later. Bye.